Hey world, I'm Josh.
I'm Lauren.
Welcome to another episode of Let's Try Stuff.
Coffee edition.
Today we are trying from Augies Coffee Roaster the Salvador La Ellie.
La Ellie.
La Ellie.
Thank you to
Mr. Box.
Mr. Box.
Well, not thank you, we paid for it.
Yes.
And if you want to help us continue to pay for it, you could use our code Z295 and that will get you $10 off a subscription and it gets us $10 off a subscription and that's it.
Everybody weens.
Okay, it is a Boucheron region. Varietal is Red Bourbon, and it was processed with the yellow honey process. Grown at 1,500 meters, and the tasting notes surprising to me, and I guess I've been drinking this a little bit this week. Molasses, milk chocolate, and cherry. So, I think that probably comes from it being Central American. And I find that surprising given the honey processing, but from what I've tasted so far this week, I think it is fitting. I expected something very sweet, but it hasn't been quite that. We've had something from Augies once before. I think it may have, maybe twice, I don't know. But I've liked what they've given us to date. There's the beans. They do smell more like typical coffee than anything. Cup smells pretty nice, kind of a caramel note. And what do you think about the coffee, Lauren?
It's really not a sweet coffee.
No, which is the opposite of what I expected.
Yeah, it's got that taste of coffee that it really tastes like a Central American coffee. You know how like African coffees taste a certain way?
Yeah, they're sweeter, and Central and South American coffees to me tend to be more tobacco-y, bitter.
That's exactly what it was like. It's very tobacco-y.
Mine's cooled down quite a bit, so I do get the milk chocolate and molasses. Really, even though it's like all sugar, it's really not that sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Like a blackstrap molasses, almost.
Yeah.
Like almost a bitter sugar. Cherry, not getting that really. Here's some. Look at their back of their bag if you're curious.
It's not like overwhelming or a really intense flavor either. So it's really, it would be nice for the morning.
I always think coffee's kind of weird that way. Like coffee's kind of frequently for me heady. Like it has a lot of smell.
That's the thing. My sense of smell is terrible.
And I taste it when I drink it, but if I hold it in my mouth, pause. The taste kind of disappears while it's sitting in there. It kind of becomes watery, and like it only really affects like the top of your mouth, your palate, which is weird. But it's, and I guess sort of a sour molasses. It's not bad. It's not my cup of tea necessarily. I really prefer a sweeter, fruitier cup. It's interesting.
I haven't had coffee that tastes like this in a while, because we usually stick with African coffees.
Yeah.
Or natural processed or things that are on the sweeter side. It's different. I have no complaints. I just am not quite used to it anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely different from how we typically go, and it's we brewed it in a Chemex, by the way, and the cheater method that I use these days, popping it in the Bonavita.
It's a good method, I'd say.
It's consistent, you know. It'll be the same every time we brew.
Have we had this already?
We've been drinking it this week.
Yeah.
I make coffee on the way out the door for me and her.
This is nice to me.
So, interesting coffee. I think the honey processed probably adds a little sweetness to an otherwise more bitter coffee.
Would you repurchase?
When I use the word bitter, I don't mean bad. Like I don't like bitter. Often to me has a negative connotation, but that's not the point. It's just I don't know how else to describe sort of not sweet flavors. Earthy, maybe. I don't know.
I think earthy is
I lack the vocabulary.
I think earthy is fair for this coffee. Honestly, it does kind of have that
Earthy, yeah. Umami. A bit of a tobacco note, but there's some sweetness hiding in there too.
So how does this compare to the other Augies for you?
Oh, it's obviously quality coffee. It's not like they're putting out a bad coffee. It's just not for me. Whatever the last one we had was, I loved, and it's fine. I drink it. I wouldn't bat an eye at it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't buy it again for us.
I'd say so. I mean, every coffee roaster is going to have a variety.
Of course, not everybody likes the same stuff.
So this would be great for somebody who likes this sort of coffee.
I think this would favor the majority of people.
Mm-hmm. But it's a good coffee.
Most people don't like their coffee like me. You tend to fall more in this realm.
I like, honestly,
Have I turned you to the light side?
a little bit, but I also like things that are really dark roast. So it's either extreme.
Gotcha.
This is very middle of the road.
That's fair. Alright, that's enough talking about a bag of coffee. Thanks for watching.
Tell us what to try next.
I'm not saying that subscribe crap anymore. I'm done. This time I'm really done. You can do it if you want. You know what you want to do. You know how YouTube works.
You know your life.
We just can't think of a good way to end the videos. We need we say hey world when we start the video. We need like a catchphrase so that people will think that we're cool. You know.
I don't think we could ever convince people that we're cool.
I was being sarcastic. If we had followers, we'll call you hedgehogs because Lauren loves hedgehogs.
I do. They're the best creatures.
So it could be like, hey hedgehogs, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Let's Try Stuff.
But it's so gimmicky. Why do people do that?
I don't know, because it makes you feel like you're part of a group even though they're strangers on the other side of the internet. I put light into a camera and sounds into a microphone, and then I take a little chip and I put that into a computer. A confuser? Yeah, I was gonna say computer, then I wanted to make an AVE reference, so the confuser. And then I do diddly dallies and the ones and the zeros and the bits and the boops, and then I send that through the pieces of copper and glass, to some mysterious YouTube server, and then people watch it all around the world. Like 7 people across the world watch these, and they could be hedgehogs. Wouldn't you want to be a hedgehog? Be like, what's up, fellow hedgehogs? Our friend Let's Get Lexi has the piñas, the pineapples. What are hedgehogs? Get your hedgehog friend while I work on an ending. What's up, hedgehog friends? And then we'll say, our ending could be...
That Milo keeps taking because he thinks that's his.
Sit down. He's Rolly. We'll say, stay Rolly, hedgehogs. Stay cuddly. Have a good one. That's how we're going to end the videos. Stay Rolly, friends.
Stay Rolly.
Peace.